Welcome to the Pollstar Report, or the Pollstar Minute for April 25th, 2022. I am your host, Mr. Insomnia. I'm going to do something a little bit different tonight. Usually I get you the top 10 of the Live 75 and the global, the concert pulse, the global concert pulse, and the new tours. I'll do something a little bit different tonight because really there's only one new act in the Live 75 or concert pulse. And I'll just give that really fast. At number 4, it's Sech, S-E-C-H. Who is Sech, you might ask? Sech is, as I type on the computer here, Sech is a singer, a Panamanian singer. I had no clue who this guy was. Panamanian singer, reggaeton, Latin R&B. Needless to say, let's just give you a quick. He shows up at number 4 on the Live 75 charts. 15,057 average tickets sold. Number shows 3. Average gross per show of $846,314. Average capacity sold is 96.5%. Other than that, though, everybody's kind of the same. I've kind of done these reports before. There's one other new one, but I'm going to talk about him a little bit later. So what I'm going to do tonight, let me see if Concert Pulse has. I think Concert Pulse is basically almost the same. Yeah, Concert Pulse is basically the same. The only new one on Concert, first new one is Maxwell at 784,534 average gross. Average tickets sold on his tour is 7,569 tickets sold. That's 7,569 tickets sold. Average ticket price is $103.65, and 16 shows have reported. But he came in at number 11. And that's why I'm going to. Then let's talk about why I know he came in at number 11. Somebody decided to buy a yearly pass, a yearly membership to Pollstar. So what we're going to do is, instead of looking at the top 10, I'll do this next week because there's really little to no movement on the top 10 in the Live 75 and the Concert Pulse. So what I'm going to do is kind of compare and contrast a couple of these acts that are showing up on the Live 75 and Concert Pulse. Because of the Live 75, I now get 75 artists instead of 10. And with Concert Pulse, I get the top 100 artists touring instead of 10 on that chart as well. So what we're going to do is start comparing and contrasting, artists that are in the similar genre and just see how they're doing comparatively. For example, like the first one I'm going to do is 2 comedians, Joy Coy and Gabriel Iglesias. Joy Coy showed up on the as my computer starts screwing up. Showed up on the Live 75 chart at number 12. He has an average ticket sold of 7,851 tickets sold. 7 shows have reported. His average gross is $538,573 per show, and average capacity sold is 98%. He showed up at number 12 in the Live 75. At number 18 on the Live 75 is Gabriel Iglesias. He has an average ticket sold per show of 5,576. Number of shows reported is 8. The average gross on these shows is $324,820, and the average capacity sold is 94.8%. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to do comparisons of guys who are in the similar genre or kind of similarities. Maybe not like style-wise, but just similarities in kind of like their genres. And just to see, just to compare what they're doing. And by the way, everybody's doing pretty well. I mean, the touring business is picking back up, it looks like. The next comparison I'm going to do is tribute acts. 2 tribute acts to legendary British bands. At number 40, we have Brit Floyd. Not Pink Floyd, Brit Floyd. So I'm guessing that's the British version of Pink Floyd. Average tickets sold is 1,524 tickets sold per show. Number of shows reported is 4. Average gross per show is $85,578. Capacity sold is 64.3%. Just dropping off a little bit lower, we have a Led Zeppelin tribute band act called Get the Lead Out. And Get the Lead Out has average tickets sold of 1,437 tickets sold per show. Number of shows reported is 4. Average gross per show is $49,773. And average capacity sold is 84.7%. The next one we're going to look at is two acts that were part of early Lollapalooza. The first one is Ministry. Ministry showed up at number 35 on the Live 75 chart at 1,000. They sold 1,926 tickets per show. Number of shows reported is 3. The average gross is $73,414. And the average capacity sold per show is 84.5%. At the bottom of the chart, at number 75, is Henry Rollins. Henry Rollins has sold 467 tickets per show. Number of shows reported is 5. Average gross per show is $18,760. And average capacity sold is 68.9%. So I think Henry Rollins, if I'm not mistaken, does spoken word now. I don't even think he's a musician anymore. I don't think he has the Rollins band or anything. I just think he's a musician. I mean, just a spoken word artist. So, 500 people per show for spoken word is pretty good. Now let's go into 80s New Wave. First act we're going to look at is Gary Numan. If you don't know who Gary Numan is, he had a song in the early 80s called Cars, which is a very iconic song and very early MTV iconic video. He also had other songs too. There's a band act he has a song called Down in the Park, which is really cool. And he has a song called Our Friends Electric with a question mark, which actually got remade into a cover of, got a mashup with the group called the Sugar Babes. I think the Sugar Babes or Sugar Babies. There was a big hit in England. What they did was they mashed up Our Friends Electric with Freak Like Me, the Adina Howard song. It's actually a really cool mashup. It's actually like one of the better kind of mashups. And the Sugar Babes sing the song. I keep wanting to call them the Sugar Cubes, but the Sugar Cubes is a completely different act and a completely different genre. But anyways, check it out if you guys shot. It's actually, I'm not even a big fan of pop music, but I just thought that was really well done and really, really clever. So anyways, Gary Numan, his average tickets sold per show is 876 tickets sold per show. Number of shows reported is 3. Average gross is $30,123 per show. And average capacity sold is 80.1%. And on top of that, we have this, just a little bit above him was a band called the Psychedelic Furs. Psychedelic Furs did the theme song to Pretty in Pink. I think they also have a song called, or I should say they have another song called Love Our Way, or Love My Way, something like Love Our Way. I'm sorry for singing, by the way. It was Psychedelic Furs, average tickets sold per show, 903 tickets. Number of shows reported is 3. Average gross per show is $33,964. And average capacity sold is 53.6%. Now we're going to go into 2 legendary 60s acts. Both of these acts are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The first one I'm going to talk about is Bob Dylan. And I actually own a couple Bob Dylan albums. Incredible lyricist. A little tough to understand sometimes, or a lot of times, especially live, from what I understand. Like, people always say, I remember just talking to this girl who went to a Bob Dylan show, and she was like, she wasn't really a big Bob Dylan fan. Her friend kind of invited her, and she's like, you gotta listen to the lyrics, right? And she goes, I didn't understand a word he said, because he kind of kind of does that. But anyways, Bob Dylan places at number 31 on the Pollstar chart, on the Pollstar Live 75 chart, at 2,326 tickets sold per show. 4 shows have reported. The average gross is $211,715, and average capacity sold is 97.4%. Now, and to look at another band, comparative band, The Beach Boys are also on tour right now, and they come in at number 56 on the Pollstar tour, or Pollstar chart. Pollstar Live 75 chart, I should say. Average tickets sold is 1,203. Number of shows they've done is 3, or shows reported is 3. Average gross per show, $98,599. Average tickets capacity sold is 88.1%. And I just want to say about the Beach Boys is fuck Mike Love. Actually, I don't know him, but the guy comes off as a total prick. So, anyways, and speaking about families, basically for the way he treated his cousin Brian. That's why I'm saying fuck Mike Love. I have nothing personal against him. Just the way he comes off is just completely douchey. So, anyways, but talking about family bands, we're going to talk about 2 brother acts next. We're going to talk about the Avett Brothers, who, if I can find it, show up at number 24 on the Live 75 chart. Average tickets sold is 3,913 tickets sold per show. Number of shows reported is 6. Average gross per show is $267,134. Average capacity sold per show is 77%. And then comparatively, there's a band called the Wood Brothers who show up on the chart, on the Live 75 chart, at number 54 with 1,228 tickets sold. Number of shows reported is 3. Average gross per show is $47,060. Average capacity sold is 86.5%. And I need to know who the Wood Brothers are, because I don't know a thing about the Wood Brothers. I'm thinking they're a country act. Wood Brothers. The Wood Brothers. Oh, okay. Actually, it's kind of interesting. Okay, they're a combination of folk, gospel, blues, and jazz. Okay. Genres: folk rock, root rock, blues rock, Americana. Okay, cool. That's pretty cool. I guess they're kind of similar to the Avett Brothers then. All right, now we're going to talk about 2 comedians who do a podcast together. These guys are comedic. I mean, I guess you call them comedy BFFs. And we're going to talk about Tom Segura versus Bert Kreischer. And let's see how they're doing comparatively. Actually, they're both doing pretty well. But let me just pull up the. I'm going to go to another chart here. I'm going to go to the Concert Pulse chart. And according to Concert Pulse, right now, Tom Segura has an average gross. By the way, he's number 34 on the Concert Pulse. His average gross per show is $142,284. Average tickets sold per show is 2,146 tickets sold per show. Average ticket price is $66.33, and 18 shows have reported. Conversely, Bert Kreischer is number 38 on the Concert Pulse tour, on our Concert Pulse chart, at $128,802 per gross per show, average gross per show. Amount of tickets sold is 2,065 tickets sold per show. Average ticket price is $62.35, and the number of shows he's done is 24. So Tom is just edging him out there, but again, but Bert's also done more shows. Then we're going to talk about 2 female comedians here on the Concert Pulse tour chart, I should say. First one is Tig Notero. Her average gross per show, she comes in at number 48. Her average gross per show is $76,039. Average tickets sold per show is $1,666, 666. Average ticket price per show is $45.64, and 8 shows have reported. So doing very well. And then another female headline comedian is Taylor Tomlinson. She's at number 51 on the Concert Pulse tour charts. Average gross per show is $63,042 gross per show. Average number of tickets sold is 1,358 tickets sold per show. Average ticket price is $46.39. And her number of shows she's done is 19. Both of them doing terrific business. Now we're going to talk about the two 80s flashbacks. If you were a listener to K-Rock Flashback Lunch with Richard Blade in the 90s, they used to play these two bands a lot. The first one is Echo and the Bunnymen, who it comes in at, if I can find it. Come on, Echo. You're somewhere around here. This is, oh, here we go. At number 47 on the Concert Pulse chart is Echo and the Bunnymen. And their average gross is $76,847. The average number of tickets sold per show is 1,463 tickets. Average ticket price per ticket is $52.52. And number of shows they have reported is 10. And then conversely, 10,000 Maniacs just reunited. If you know who Natalie Merchant is, I don't think a whole lot of you remember that, but they were like an alternative nation. I'm trying to remember. I think it was called 120 Minutes. Actually, yeah, I think it was called 120 Minutes. That was like a show that they used to be heavily featured on. Because they're touring. Their average gross per show is $16,742 per show. And the average number of tickets sold per show is 322. Average ticket price is $52, and 9 shows have reported. And they're number 87 on the Concert Pulse 100 or the Concert Pulse chart. Now we're going to compare two legends on two different charts. The first one is going to be Slash, and Slash is at number, where is he at? Slash, don't hide from us. Slash is at number 33. His average gross per show is $149,750. Sorry, let me repeat that. Slash is his average gross. Actually, I should say it's Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. Miles Kennedy has a great voice, by the way. His average gross is $149,759. I screwed that up again. His average gross per show is $149,795. His average number of tickets sold per show is 2,039. His average ticket price is $73.44, and he's done 8 shows have reported. Now, conversely, we're going to compare him to Jerry Cantrell, who on the Live 75 chart comes in at number 58. He sold an average number of tickets sold per show of 1,178 tickets. Number of shows that have reported so far is 3. His average gross is $67,752, and the average capacity sold per show is 67.9%. So both of them doing very well. And then we're going to have a little blues guitar battle here on the Concert Pulse here with Joe. Oh, I cannot pronounce Bonamassa. I hope I pronounced that right. I probably didn't. I'm sure somebody's going, "What the hell, man? You can't even pronounce their name right." But Joe Bonamassa, Bonamassa. Yes, I cannot pronounce that. But anyways, Joe, if I can find it. There he is. He's at number 24 on the Concert Pulse chart at $209,097 average gross per show. Average number of tickets sold per show is 1,954 tickets. His average ticket price is $106.99, and 8 shows have reported. Comparatively, Marcus King the Marcus King Band is at number 62 at $42,870 average gross per show. Average number of tickets sold per show is 1,284. Average ticket price is $33.36, and the number of shows that have reported for him is 24. And now we're going to jump into co-headlining tours of two very different genres. The first one we're going to look at is Ghost and Volbeat, which is a metal. Both are like hard rock metal bands. And the Ghost Volbeat tour is at number 19 on the Concert Pulse. Their average gross is $384,650 per show. The average number of tickets sold per show is 5,486. Average ticket price is $70.11. And the number of shows they have done is 21. Or number of shows they've reported has been 21. And then we're going to compare that to Dillon Francis and Young Gravy, which I guess is a hip-hop slash EDM sort of acts. I guess Young Gravy's a hip-hop act, and Dillon Francis is a EDM act. I had to actually look this up because I had no clue who these guys were, but they're doing really good business. And because the reason why I don't know who they are is because I'm old. They came in at number 43 on the Concert Pulse chart. Their average gross was $88,407 per show. Average number of tickets sold per show is 2,199. Average ticket price is $40.19, and 12 shows have reported. So good for them. They're doing really well. And then finally on this comparison, the comparison is going to be Chris Tomlin, who is on the Concert Pulse chart at number 16. The average gross per show is $436,078. Average number of tickets sold is 9,097. Average ticket price per show is $47.93, and 11 shows are reported. And we're going to compare him to a rapper by the name of Lecrae, who's a Christian rapper. Chris Tomlin and Hillsong are more like Christian singers. Or I think they sing more like... What is Chris Tomlin? I'm sorry, I got to look this up. I know he's Christian. I know he's a Christian artist, but what kind of Christian genre? What kind of Christian genre is he in? Contemporary worship music. Okay. And Lecrae, if I'm not mistaken, is a Christian rapper, but let me just double check on that. Yeah, Christian hip hop. Okay. Makes sense. And he's doing really well as well. Lecrae is, I should say. Lecrae is number 44 on the Concert Pulse chart. His average gross per show is $80,634. Average tickets sold per show is $2,058. Average ticket price is $39.17. And the number of tickets, or number of shows that are reported, I should say, is 14. So now that we've now that's all the comparison I'm going to do today. If I read all 75 artists from the Live 75 and all 100 artists from the Concert Pulse charts, I'd be here all night. So I want to make these make my podcast very fast. So, and I'm already kind of extended longer than I want to. So I'm just going to look at the new tours really fast and just really report tours I've heard of or acts I've heard of. New tours, we actually have a chart this week. So the first act I'm going to report on is Atmosphere. Atmosphere is a alternative rapper, or an alt rapper, I guess you could say. His average number of tickets sold per show is 1,520. Average ticket price or average ticket gross is $54,183. The next act I'm going to talk about is the Backstreet Boys. The Backstreet Boys. I'm not saying it to them, even though I don't like boy bands. I'm just saying that because I could not pronounce them. I'm having trouble pronouncing their name for some reason. But the Backstreet Boys average tickets sold is 12,570 per show, and the average gross per show is $1,112,432. So they're killing it. I gotta give them a lot of props because I always felt like they're just going to be a passing fad. But people still go to their shows and they sell a ton of tickets. So props to them, man. They proved me wrong. Next act I'm going to talk about is Bill Burr. He's a great comedian. Average number of tickets sold is 3,642 per show. Average gross is $300,359. So Bill, you are crushing it. Next act I'm going to talk about is Darius Rucker, a.k.a. Hootie. Well, not really Hootie, but he's average number of tickets sold per show is 4,100. Average gross per show is 247,706. Now we're going to talk about the kings of Monster Energy rock, or the kings of current butt rock, or whatever you want to call them. It's Five Finger Death Punch. They get a lot of flack online, but I will say this. They are selling a lot of tickets. Average number of tickets sold is 6,879 tickets sold per show. Average gross per show is $425,334. The next act I'm going to talk about is Lady A, who used to be known as Lady Antebellum. They are a country act. That's all I know, honestly. Average number of tickets sold per show is 3,188. Average gross per show is $198,539. And then we're going to talk about Maroon 5, who is crushing it. Average number of tickets sold per show is 17,835 tickets. Average gross per show is $1,291,020. They are killing the game right now. The next actor I'm going to talk about is the Melvins. Melvins, if probably most people have heard of the Melvins, but actually never heard the Melvins. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, and I'm a big fan of grunge, and I mean, I think the music's is cool, but it's just not my cup of tea. Average number of tickets sold per show is 513. Average gross per show is $13,183. And this is the Melvins were the band that like Kurt Cobain and Chris Novoselic were kind of like worshipped and were really influenced by, and I think even roadied for them for a little while back in the day. So now I'm going to talk about Ringo Starr. Next act we're going to talk about is Ringo Starr and his All-Star band. All-Star, spelled with 2 R's. Average number of tickets sold per show is 4,975 tickets sold per show. Average gross per show is $330,448. And I have a feeling Brian Wilson might be on that tour and not the Beach Boys tour. I don't know if he is, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying he might be, because he's done it in previous years. Next act I'm going to talk about is Rosalia. She is a Latina artist, and she is doing great business. Average number of tickets sold per show is 15,247 tickets. Her average gross per show is $885,986. And I will say this: I've never heard of her, but like I said, this is one thing I like about this podcast. I learn a lot about bands or artists I've never heard of and how big they are. I think it's kind of like, just because you've never heard of them and not in your wheelhouse doesn't mean they're not popular. It just means that it's just not in your wheelhouse or not in your sphere of influence. But that doesn't mean they're not popular. And there's a lot of money to go around for everybody if you're good enough. Next act I'm going to talk about is Simply Red. Simply Red's a kind of a throwback act. They're kind of like I don't want to say neo soul, but in the 80s they had a couple big hits. They had a song called "Holding Back the Years," which is a great song. And they were kind of like an R&B act, but I don't even know how to explain it. They're almost like, there was what was that movie called? In the early 90s, there's this Irish R&B band that I'm sure I'm going to think about it later, but I want to call them the Proclaimers, but that was the 500 Miles band. But it was kind of like that. But anyways, to make a long story, they were kind of like a throwback R&B, British R&B group. But anyways, and like I said, Holding Back the Years, go seek out that song. It's a great song. Average number of tickets sold is 7,903 tickets sold per show. The average gross per show is $686,863. And I think that must be in Europe. That must be in the UK. They're touring, because they had a couple hits here, but they were never as big here as they were in Europe, in the UK. And I hear a siren going off in the background. Finally, the last act I'm going to talk about touring is Wiz Khalifa, the hip hop artist. Wiz is doing great business. Wiz's average number of tickets sold per show is 5,527 tickets. Average gross per show is $171,385 per show. So anyways, that's it. You guys have a great night. Next week I'll kind of be back on reporting just on the top 10 of the concert pulse and the Live 75 charts. I think I'm just going to do that like every other week. Like 1 week I'm going to do, because since I paid for subscription, now I'm paying for a subscription to Pollstar. 1 week do the top 10 of each, and then the next week, and then do the new tours, and then next week do like kind of a comparison and then do the new tours. So that way it's not redundant. Anyways, everybody have a good night, and I will talk to you next week. And don't forget to check out my other podcast where we're going episode by episode of the Making the Band show. And it's getting kind of interesting. So anyways, everybody have a good night. Bye.